Hello everyone! So I have a very interesting comment that I received in my last short about sight reading, and in this short I mentioned The Well-Tempered Clavier as a very interesting book for make a sight reading in a daily basis when you are practicing your sight reading. So I want to quote first this comment because I found it quite unusual. So, quoting, it says, "Funny you mentioned using the well-tempered clavier for sight reading. I used it to read through its pieces, the speed way beyond my level, and developed a weird problem. I was better prepared to sight read more complex pieces than I was at very simple ones." And this was sent by someone called Nimbo Smash 6750. Okay, sorry if the word is not completely right spelled, okay, but it's something like this. And in a first moment when I read this, I don't understand, and then I was thinking maybe there's something reasonable on that. But then the most I read, the most sure I was that I could not believe it, and I'll explain why. Because it's like, imagine that you are in mathematics and you can solve the three-body problem, but you cannot multiply per 10. Makes no sense. But going to music, it's something like you are telling me that you can play 5, 6, or 7 notes at the same time easily, but you cannot read 2 notes at the same time. You cannot read the simple interval, but you can read the group of intervals. It makes no sense. And this makes me remember also when people say, for example, there is a very common speech that many people use, saying, "Oh, Mozart is much more difficult than Liszt," for example. And this is one of the most ridiculous statements I ever heard in my life. Why? Because people always will claim, no, because Mozart has less indications and this makes too difficult because you need to be very accurate and precise to play that Mozart. This is always the excuse. But the point is, the same level of accuracy, right? The same precision that you need to have in that Mozart, you also need in Liszt. And the fact that some people think because in Liszt you are going to use more pedals, you have some tricks and effects, then that doesn't require the same precision, but actually requires not just the same precision, but also a higher use of the technique. So yes, it's much more difficult to play Liszt. It's not about competing them. Over the years, the composers get more and more complex, and of course, sometimes they can make very simple music too. That means you can find some pieces by Liszt that are 2 pages and very simple to play, like the Great Clouds. Great Clouds is a very good example of a very simple piece written by Liszt, and very strange one. But okay, we also need to remember that this kind of statements that is common used, like this Mozart list or something like this, comes normally from people discussing on internet. And these people discussing on internet, normally they never made a deep study or a professional study. They study like someone that study normal things on the school, not like a professional. So they read one score that they think is difficult and then decide that that is among the most difficult readings of their life, and because of this they say this is one of the most difficult pieces ever. So yeah, there are plenty of people speaking this kind of thing on internet, but that doesn't mean that this is it. Doesn't mean that what is said by these people is really true. It's just their impression, but we need to know it's the impression of someone with lack of knowledge, yes. So the point that I want to make clear is not that I just simply want to say that the words of this friend here is just untrue and that's it. No, the point is that probably what happens is that this person had a different kind of experience that make him believe that for him is more, or her is easier to read complex music than easy music. But this is not exactly true. This cannot happen like this by mathematics, by logics. But he can have this impression, and that is the point. And what happens in this is, for example, You pick up a book with simple pieces, and these simple pieces that you pick, none of them are really attractive like Well-Tempered Clavier. So when you are reading Well-Tempered Clavier, you are reading things that probably you listen a lot of other pianists playing, like Richter, Glenn Gould, Frederick Gould, no matter who, Feinberg. You listen these guys playing, and you love that, so you get the attraction already for this kind of repertoire, and when you read with some heart, let's say, with some emotion related to that. And if you pick up a book of maybe, let's say, Rameau, maybe you didn't listen to much Rameau, or let's say something really more simple, like some suites by Handel, or let's pick up Anna Madalena Bach notebook. You are reading those things and you are feeling, but I cannot read it so well. Well, maybe you don't like that so much. Maybe this can be happening. But if you pick up a very simple piece, really simple writing that you love to play as much as you love to play some a little bit more complex, like a fugue by Bach, there is no way that we can say that it's easier to play Bach because of numbers. You cannot say that I can read 10 words easier than one single word. It's simple like that. So there is something in the conception that was wrong. And one last thing that I would add on this is that I will never recommend someone, after reading Well-Tempered Clavier, to go to more Bach, to read through more Bach. You can, of course, it's not a problem, but this is not going to be a huge benefit. The huge benefit will be if you know more composers, because Bach solves Bach, Mozart solves Mozart, Chopin solves Chopin. Sometimes these techniques are used by other composer pianists, and then because of this, this I see in Chopin, this I see in Bach. So you solve some things, but you cannot solve everything. It's like, imagine that someone practicing a book of exercises, after this, let's say you make the full book of Hanon, and after this, now I'm ready to play everything by Liszt. No, you're not. You have plenty of things that you never studied in the technique that are not in Hanon and that are in Liszt. So you need have more contact with other things. If you love too much the polyphonic writing, but I want to keep polyphonic, okay, go to Hindemith, go to Shostakovich, go to other composers that can offer you this kind of writing, polyphonic writing, or explore different kinds of writing, really, because we have plenty of different schools of writing on the piano, and you are going to need these things to develop your technique. So that being said, I think this covers what was my impression of this comment. I'm very thankful for the comment, because this gives me the opportunity to speak about. And one more time, let me hear his name. Thank you so much for Nimbo Smash 6750. Please don't take this as a personal thing or any no intention of hurt any feelings. Actually, I want to discuss these things because, as a professional working for way more than 25 years on music, I never see this happen. I see some people sometimes speaking about some miraculous things, like, I played this in 2 days, but I never see someone indeed make that we indeed made. And in this case of being able to read more complex than simple ones, it's biological. It's until you can prove in some way that I'm wrong, it seems to be completely logical by mathematics. I'm making comparison with mathematics, so it's basically, to me, almost impossible to believe someone can read 5 notes, 6 notes, 7 notes, but cannot read 2. Okay, so but thank you anyway, and thank you everyone for watching this and for the interest and always in my channel. Okay, see you people.